Hello, Cindy here. I'm so excited to be here with you guys today talking about ghosting. Boo, and it's not even Halloween yet. I'll go back to ghosting around Halloween. Anyway, I'm talking about a common phenomenon that is happening in dating, especially with app dating and, online dating happening. And, I'm going to speak into this because I really want to support you guys, and I know ghosting can suck. Not only men do it, but women do it too. So the number one thing is when it comes to ghosting, boo, here's the thing to keep in mind. Well, I'm going to share something else about that. Okay, I'm going to go back to that. So when it comes to ghosting is basically disappearing, like without any sort of statement, nothing. So ghosting can be confusing, frustrating at best, and it makes a person question what's happened in the interaction with the individual. So here's the deal. In a study done by the dating site Plenty of Fish, and they did a study with people from 18 to 33 who are dating, and I don't care what age you are, that 80% of them have been ghosted. And I'm going to say that statistics are higher. I want to say it's closer to 90% if we do all the age ranges. Typically I work with women, anywhere from 28. My oldest client is 80. So I work with the gamut, but the median age range is usually anywhere from 30 to 65. And this is something that's happening. So I'm sorry. And I'm going to give you some reasons why ghosting happens. So would that help? Would it help you if you understood a little bit more about ghosting? If you want to know more about ghosting, why it happens, and how to overcome it, just give me a thumbs up in the comments, because I want to know. And if you like these Facebook Lives, as well as if you're on YouTube, hi, we're not forgetting about you. So when it comes to ghosting, the number one reason why people ghost is they have a fear of confrontation. So especially in this day and age where, we're connected virtually, right? We're connected by your cell phones, computers. We can hide behind a lot of things. And especially if you're meeting online and you don't necessarily have common friends, it's easier to just disappear. And somebody might even rationalize in their mind, like, I'm going to say something to that person. I'm going to call them. I'm going to, at least shoot them a text, and then it just never happens, right? Time goes on, it never happens. Or the person reaches out to you and then you just don't, you forget about the text, or because they weren't that important. That's the one. Or they just, they just didn't, which is sad, right? That person wasn't that important. So they're going to ignore the text, which sucks. Or they're avoiding the confrontation, right? It's that looming feeling of, I got to take care of this. So the thing that I really want to share with you about this is it's easier not to confront. So you can just disappear. Confrontation feels hard. It feels heavy. Even if you've gone out on a couple dates, the thing that I recommend is, if you just don't see that, if you don't even see a friendship with the person, or you don't really see this person in your rotation, the kind thing to do is just be like, hey, it was really nice meeting you. I had a great time the last couple times we went out, and I'm just not really seeing enough of a connection to move forward, right? Or, something along those lines. So number one reason, confrontation. Number two reason is fear of intimacy. So, and that is much different than confrontation. So somebody could be getting into a place when you're dating someone, things tend to be going a little bit deeper, and that person just isn't ready for that level of intimacy. Now, the other thing too is a lot of people struggle with creating a deeper connection today. Or you create it in little pockets and moments in time, and then it doesn't happen. It doesn't transpire long term. I'm going to tell you two things. The way to create a deeper connection, of course, you guys might know I'm going to tell you, is vulnerability. Now, vulnerability around the things that scare you a little bit. And here's what I want to share with you. And I hope you hear this, or I hope the right person hears this. If you share something and the guy walks away, it's okay, because that says more about them than it does about you. Now, and typically that's not going to happen through vulnerability. And vulnerability is what creates the bond, which actually keeps somebody wanting to know you better. And it's hard to get vulnerable, especially if we're afraid of what people think and we're always stuck in our fear. If you're stuck in your fear of, oh, he's going to go away, or I don't want to get hurt. None of us want to get hurt. But you guys, if you want to fall in love, you get to take the deep, deep, big leap of faith to get hurt. So if you're an entrepreneur, you're a businesswoman, all my clients are successful, and they've worked hard for that, and they've risked, and they've fallen, and I've fallen many times. I continue to. We get back up, right? So I really want to share that piece with you, that fear of intimacy will happen fairly early on, typically. If you're going deep, you're spending enough time together, that, that'll happen. And that person can just, and with men, feelings hit them. They hit them like a ton of bricks, literally. They don't always feel as often as we do, but when they feel, it's a lot. So they might be going, oh, I don't know if I can do this. I'm just not prepared for whatever reason in their life. You're not going to change their mind. And something you can hear early on is if somebody says to you, like, gosh, I've been hurt before, or I don't do this really well, or I'm not sure I can really open my heart again. Don't try to change the guy. Don't do it. So the next thing, and this is interactive with ghosting, because if you can't get emotionally intimate, you can't go that deep, it's easier just to what? Ghost, walk away. And sometimes the ghosts will haunt you too. They'll come back and they'll, like some of your social media, or, send you a text randomly, how are you doing, right? Which can feel icky at best. So that's the next reason. The other reason, I wrote them down because I lose track, you guys. I go off on these tangents, as you know. So the other reason is they have more of a narcissistic, toxic personality. So somebody with more of a narcissistic personality, and that word is thrown around a lot these days, but I'm just going to put it together in a nice little package with a bow. somebody with more of a narcissistic personality you'll know, like, they will not be as empathetic or compassionate or even as thoughtful as you might like them to be when it comes to, you know, any sort of situation. So, or they might get defensive, they might turn things around on you. So somebody with a narcissistic personality that ghosts you, they're ghosting you for two reasons. They're done. They got what they want. They're done. They've moved on. They're not really, and narcissistic people, the tendencies, right, or toxic people, they will do things in an attempt to make you feel bad. They'll turn things around and attempt to make you feel bad. So, and then, you know, they ghost, and it makes you question, what did I do wrong? Or if I would have done this, you know, remember, it's a gift if they ghosted you, and you get to move forward knowing that there is a right partner out there that's going to show up for you. I'll tell you what, I had a client of mine, I share this story of mine often, but she was dating a guy for about a year before, and he had told her something as they were just getting to know each other. He said, yeah, the last woman I was dating, I realized it wasn't going to work, and so I just stopped calling her. You know, I stopped calling her. Now, in her mind, she thought, oh, okay, well, eventually petered out. That's what we would think, right? You know, they had conversations and eventually petered out. No, had she gotten more curious with him and gone like, what do you mean by that? Or how did that manifest itself? Or how did you come to that conclusion, right? From a non-judgmental place, she might have found out that he just stopped calling her because that's exactly what he did to her. And it hurt, obviously. It sucked. And now she's moved on, and she's taken that lesson, and she invited in the love of her life not that long afterwards, but she was really committed to her own personal development around this. So next step, so narcissists, they don't really love themselves, so their ability to love and be empathetic is much less. And narcissists can be highly attracted to, like a moth to a flame, to someone that has just a loving, caring, joyful nature. Okay, so the next one is, gosh, I've got a few more, but the next one is they're afraid of a visceral reaction or a crazy reaction. Now, that's an irrational fear, but there is a very strong possibility that they've had a confrontation in their past with a woman that went ballistic on them, that yelled at them, that made them, you know, that it went really sideways. And who hasn't been in a situation where it's been heated, or maybe you've gotten sideways on someone? I know I have. So the other side to that, you guys, okay, so they might have experienced that in the past, so they're fearful, and it might have not even been with a woman they've been involved with. Could be with their mom. They could have seen their mom go crazy on their father or something, and they have that fear factor of, if I do this, I'm going to quite possibly get this reaction. And, you know, sometimes people ghost, and this is another one. I'll just give you some added bonus material. People ghost when they're in the beginning of app dating, or, you know, online dating, and you might be messaging with someone, right? And here's the thing. I want to tell you, ladies, do yourself a favor. Do not start a pen pal relationship with a man that has promised to meet you, because it is not an available relationship. It's not even a relationship. It's made up of fantasy, right? So if he ghosts you, it means that he's really not available to meet you in the first place. So he might be married. Who knows what the heck is going on with this person, but he's not available in one way, shape, or form. He could have just gotten out of a marriage, and maybe he's a single dad, and he's like, what the heck? I mean, I don't even know how to manage myself, let alone think about meeting someone. And it's fear, right? So there's that. There's, also the, I directed my attention to someone else. I mean, it's those things, but I really want to share with you. Ghosting, yes, it's unfortunate. However, it says more about that person and how they handle things than you. Now, there's a difference between getting ghosted before you even meet someone. It's like, whatever, It can get frustrating, but if you have a pattern of that, let me know, because I'm really good at helping you navigate through what's happening there. If there's a pattern of that, or if there's a pattern of you're going out on 1 date or 2 dates, they're ghosting you, there's usually something going on, and it's because they don't feel connected and they just are like, okay, I'm out. So hear me out there, but it just says more about them than it does about you. And you get to be happy in your life and move forward and trust that there's somebody really amazing out there that really does want what you want and is supportive and loving and wants to build and grow an amazing future with you. Where there are more single people out there than ever craving connection, and our human psychology craves connection. And that's why when we do get ghosted, it feels so harsh. It feels, it's like, the rug got pulled out from underneath us. And, the human tendency is just to go after it. So I'm here to tell you that ghosting has been going on way before technology really took off. It happened when, the boy wrote the letter to the girl and he said, I'll meet you at the end of your driveway, and he never showed up. He ghosted her. He got scared, right? So, ladies, I hope this helps you. Please, please share this with a woman that you feel really needs this today. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and like this if you like us, and subscribe to my channel. We literally put out new stuff every single day, and so you can always listen to it as well. If you want to get notifications, you can just ring that little bell. I welcome your questions and comments along the way. Sending you so much love. Have an amazing day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.